The WRRV Interview Series continues. On the line, we have Brian Vander Ark of the Verve Pipe. Brian, how's it going? You guys on the road right now?
Yeah, headed to Pittsburgh tonight.
Ah, the big Pittsburgh gig. Nice.
Yes.
Very cool. Where are you guys playing down there?
A place called the Pittsburgh Winery.
Nice.
I guess I'm assuming it's in Pittsburgh.
One would think, right?
Well, that's where we're going, so screw it if it's not.
So you guys are just going to set up and play regardless of whether you actually have a
Find
gig?
a place to play.
Yeah.
We don't need a roof.
So what have you guys been up to? I feel like we haven't heard from the Verve Pipe in a while.
Well, the reason you haven't is because we put out a couple of kids' records, and they were so successful that we decided to just do the kids thing for a few years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun, really great.
Now, what kind of? I'm sorry for interrupting. What kind of content did you guys produce for these kids albums?
They sound like Verve Pipe records, but they have kids lyrics about shenanigans, stuff that we did when we were kids, getting kicked out of birthday parties. It's not the Wiggles, you know. It's stuff that parents can appreciate as well.
So it's like edgy. It's like edgy children's music.
Edgy kids music, yeah.
I like it.
There's a great new movement of Kindy rock music. They call it Kindy Rock, of kids independent rock, and we're part of that whole scene. And you know, Lollapalooza now has a giant kid stage. We played that a couple times. Austin City Lemons, same thing, kid stages. So then we got tired of playing for kids, and we made another rock record.
Well, you guys are essentially just raising the next generation of Verve Pipe listeners just really young.
You totally called us out on my marketing genius.
You guys are amazing because they're the impressionable youth.
It used to be when I was writing songs like The Freshman, it was all about the angst-ridden, I hate my dad type song.
Yeah.
This
Totally.
is angst-ridden, but I'm going to do whatever my dad says until I'm 10. This kind of song.
That's awesome. Well, I personally identify with The Freshman because I was a freshman in college when that song came out. So
Nice.
Good timing on your part on that one.
And did you buy it, or did you burn it?
We totally bought it.
Never burned it.
Well, you know, like 2 or 3 guys on the floor, they bought it, and then they burned it for like 3 other people.
Of course.
Yeah.
They did.
But we would open the doors on the floor, 3rd floor of Champagne here in Poughkeepsie at Marist College, and we'd crank Verve Pipe records on our floor until we got yelled at. So.
Oh, I love it, man.
Yeah.
I feel like we were all rebels together.
That's right. Well, quiet hours would come into play, and, you know, you don't want to break quiet hours. So.
No, you don't want to do that. Don't go crazy.
No. Don't want to get written up or kicked off campus. But
That's right.
But so you're saying you wrote a rock record. Tell me a little bit about the most recent release.
Most recent release, album release, is called Overboard, and it follows the tradition of where we left the last record called Underneath, more of an acoustic rock record. And then we've put out 5 singles now, 1 single a month for the last 5 months, and we're continuing that process as well. So new music once a month from us. We're working on a new kids record, too.
Nice. So is the intention to include those 5 songs on a new Verve Pipe record? Is that
correct? Those songs will all be released. We got 3 more coming out in the next 6 weeks, and then we're going to write 4 more and put out another rock album in July.
So it's a very prolific time for you guys right now, it seems like.
It is. It's a really good time. It's a good time it's a bad time to try to make money in music, but it's a good time to write. I think they probably go hand in hand. Back when you used to chase all the hits, you know, and try to write hit songs, it was much harder to be prolific. Now you can write whatever the hell you want to write.
Well, do you feel less pressure to produce now that you're doing your own thing?
Absolutely.
Because, you know, you have 10 years to write your first record, and then you've got 9 months to write the sophomore release, right? So
That's exactly right.
Now you're just doing your thing. So that's great.
No, we just do our thing. Now we raise money. We usually raise money through private investors. We don't really do the Kickstarter thing, but we, raise money for an album. We put an album out, we sell the album, and start over again and get on the road.
That's terrific,
There's
man.
no money to recoup, for a label to recoup. In fact, financially speaking, the band's doing better now than they were back then, which is really sad.
Yeah, well, it seems like the record company gets their hooks in some bands and kind of bleeds them dry,
Well, the big thing is that, pretty standard is the record companies will get 90%, and that's a pretty standard deal, or 88%.
I don't think people realize.
Now no, they don't. And we get, now we get 100%. I mean, we have to run a business now. I'm up at 4 a.m. running the business, but that's what you got to do now to survive,
Now, do you have like a guy, like your business manager or accountant, something like that, or is it all just you doing it?
No, I've got a manager that we've had same manager since 1993. And
is that Doug?
That's Doug, yeah.
Doug, great. He's the guy who set it all up for us. He seemed like a really nice guy. That's good.
He's a good guy. He's losing his mind a little bit. So he might have agreed to some things that we're going to do that we don't want to do. And
you guys are leading a full. You guys are leading a full yoga class tomorrow when you get here.
I have no doubt.
Some hot yoga in the studio.
That wouldn't even shock me. It wouldn't even shock me if it was cold yoga.
He's like, "What do I got to do to get the Verve pipe in the studio?" And I said,
That's
"Yoga."
Right, yeah. That doesn't surprise me at all. He's insane.
But we got along well, so I think we're gonna have you back another time too. So.
I love it.
It's exciting, man. You guys are playing Daryl's house in Pauling. Very cool venue. I don't know if you guys have been there yet.
No, well, we've watched the online videos and we've seen other bands there. It looks like an awesome place.
I hope Daryl Hall is there tomorrow night and he can come up with jam with you guys.
Oh, please, why tease us?
I know. I just opened up that can of worms, But they just released a new episode. I saw some Joe Walsh footage recently that blew my mind. It was awesome.
Beautiful. I did a solo album with Bill Simsick, who produced the James Gang and produced the Eagles. And
wow, that's big time.
I never had the opportunity to meet Joe Walsh. I would have loved it.
Oh man, he was just out there recently. It's too bad it didn't line up better.
He's so great.
I feel like all these famous musicians are dying. You got to meet Joe as soon as possible. Not that
That's right. I feel like I got to meet everybody I can.
I know you got to cross everybody off that bucket list. I got James Earl Jones crossed off mine, so I'm happy.
Did you have him record your outgoing message or anything?
I wish. No. But he told a funny story about being at the Kentucky Derby and saying, instead of saying "May the horse," he said, instead of saying "May the force be with you," he said, "May the horse be with you."
Oh,
and it was,
no.
Oh, Jim.
Over the loudspeaker?
He was doing a speech to open up the racetrack, and that's the speech that he gave. So
he probably had a couple of mint juleps.
I would hope. Yeah, I would think so. James, or Jim as I like to call him, Jimmy likes to have a good time. Well, Brian, I just want to thank you for calling up. This has been a treat. I've been a fan for a long time, and you're going to be in the Hudson Valley tomorrow, so everybody should go and check out the show. And then
I hope they will.
Everybody can tune in tomorrow too. You guys will be stopping by the station, and looking forward to getting some FaceTime too.
You betcha, buddy. Thank you.
Brian, thank you very much. Have a safe trip to Pittsburgh, and we'll see you in the Hudson Valley tomorrow.